take. It's rubbish.
Right, so, you know, the idea of a black hole
These
based
stars
on
are
the warping...
quadrillion fucking miles away. Can't prove it, can't measure it, but just take my word for it. That's the fucking sort of scientist you are fucking bowing down to.
What is your problem? Are you able to have a conversation like I am?
With a complete arsehole that fucking believes people in white coats and fucking dicky bows.
No, you're the one who thinks they take a white coat. So are you the asshole?
No, but that's what you're saying.
Because I don't believe that.
You're like, what is a scientist? Like, does he look
yes,
like
you
this?
do.
No. I said the scientist's knowledge is what makes them a scientist. You're the one saying white coat and dicky bow.
Alright, name one scientist you know in your community.
Chronic.
Chronic?
Yep.
What has he done that science?
He's an astrophysicist, PhD level.
What has he done?
Astrophysicist, there you go. Fucking stars. How the fuck does he know anything about stars? He's never fucking been there.
Yes. You need to calm down, mate.
Fucking bullshit.
You need to calm down.
Well,
although it is entertaining, I'm worried about you.
Don't get fucking worried about me. Worry about yourself. Fucking giving somebody a blowjob who's talking about lights in the sky that you fucking trip over every bastard word he says.
The penis references first dicky bow and now blowjob. I mean, you know,
absolute
off you go,
fucking
mate.
Nonsense. Ththese people are as brainwashed as you are.
You know, Chris. No, it's not. It's hard work and study, and you're just trying to write them off.
Hard work and study at what?
Right, can you calm down? Can you calm down, sheeple, please?
You're trying to write them off like that doesn't even matter, just because you don't hold the information in your head. So what you've got is the layman's approach.
Fucking lights in the sky. End of story. You know fuck all else about them.
Well, that's ridiculous, Brian.
No, it ain't. It's fun. You don't know how far away they are. You don't know how fucking big they are. You make shit up.
You have any response
and
to
you
that?
swallow it hook, line and fucking sinker.
No. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Because you like I said to you, you don't hold the knowledge, so all you've got to go with is a subjective layman's opinion, and it's embarrassing.
Show me how he knows how far these fucking stars away then. How the fuck does he know that?
Right.
Now, allow me to just educate you. The question was, do you know any scientists? Yeah, I'm about to. Do you know any scientists in your in your side? I said yes. It wasn't what does the scientist, who holds the information or how he does what he does, not me, Brian. So you're trying to get his answers from me. Are you fucking stupid?
No, you're fucking stupid.
You're asking me for his answers. You're asking me for his answers, Brian. Is that logical? Is that logical, Brian?
It's like fucking.
Would it be better to ask the person who I was talking about for the answers? Would it be better?
Fucking hold the cunts up as though they're some sort of fucking deity. It's lunacy.
They're much smarter than you.
No, they're fucking not. Nobody's smarter than me. Nobody.
I guarantee I could get a formula from rocket scientists that you wouldn't even be able to calculate. Wouldn't even be able to decrypt it. Okay?
Fuck off. Stop lying.
And you as well, mate.
Fuck off,
Guaranteed.
mate. You're a liar. Shut
You're
up.
full of shit, mate. You've had your brain fucking washed.
No. Can you not humble yourself? Can you not humble yourself?
Every day of the fucking week.
Can you not humble yourself and realize you're ignorant on facts that other people hold? Can you not do that? Are you that stubborn?
No, I will not listen to the cunts anymore because I know they lie through their back teeth.
Oh, they lie, but I can't tell you what the lie is. They give me this fake indoctrination, but I don't know how to refute it. You can't refute a fucking thing, Brian. Just because you're yelling, it doesn't make you right. You can't refute a damn thing.
Wrong, but I'm not suggesting anything's wrong. I'm saying they're full of shit.
You're saying everything they know is full of shit.
No, everything they say is full of shit.
Well, then you should be able to show where it's full of shit.
Complete bollocks.
You should be able to take a formula, refute it, and show how it's wrong. But you can't.
There are black holes and dark energy, but we can't show it yet, and we can't fucking prove it to you.
Yes,
Pick
but
the
effects
out of that one.
The effects of
oh yes,
what,
there's definitely black holes, and there's definitely black dark fucking matter. Load of bollocks.
No, they don't say there's definitely anything, you moron. What a loser. I mean, can you not humble yourself when you don't hold the information? And be like, well, I don't know that. Instead of saying, well, it doesn't feel like it means anything, actually knowing it to refute it would be the first course of action. Now, I can humble myself and say, I don't have a fucking clue about astrophysics or astrophysicists. I don't have a clue about what someone like rocket scientists would do for a job. I don't have a clue. I'm not going to sit there and pretend I do, like skeptical.
Well, rocket scientist tells us what he does, and that is sit on his chair and just plays computer games.
And you, Chemo, of all people, should keep your mouth shut, because you should humble yourself and realize you are not even anywhere close to the league of rocket scientist knowledge. You don't even actually know what game he plays.
You're a fucking lie, mate. You're
a bunch of bench sitters on the B team, C team.
You have no idea.
You have no clue.
Utterly ignorant about.
I'll wreck you in 5 minutes. I know you and your layman's approach. You and I can speak the same language.
All you have, you're one of the biggest lie preachers. That's all you have.
You're fucking ignorant, skeptical.
Fuck off, man. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
You have no clue. I've watched you just run away time and time again. You couldn't answer the lunar eclipse question to save your fucking skin.
Alright,
then let's go.
Again,
round 2.
You are
What's a lunar eclipse?
Ignorant about your own reality.
What's a lunar eclipse?
You believe me? You still believe that? You believe?
You believe it? I'm asking you a direct question, smart guy.
You believe that I glow, mate? That's ridiculous. Why you believe that?
What's a lunar eclipse?
Fuck off.
Case in point.
No, I am, mate. I'm not here to respond to you because I know you're lying.
You don't have an answer, you little bitch.
Others are in truth. You are in falsehood. That's the difference.
You run your little mouth coming here acting like you know. You can't even answer what a lunar eclipse is.
Smarter and clever than you do,
and
right?
Kimo can't save you either because he's ignorant of it too.
On truth. I stand on reality.
No, you don't. You stand in a fucking Dunning-Kruger slope.
Mathematical equations. I have to believe that. I just have to believe.
No, fool.
Believe in space. I have to believe. When we question every single of your argument, then everything becomes ridiculous because you can't even defend your position. That's your problem. Sorry.
Okay, give me something to defend then.
Go fuck yourself. You're a liar.
Oh, okay. Well, it was a big man talking about the win he already had. And when I asked you for something to debate, you go fuck yourself. Real cool, man. Real cool.
Ashes. I've got something that could be an interesting point to debate on. Yeah. Video going into chat. These are our moon sets. They're time-lapse moon sets.
Fantastic.
So we got no, setting of the moon because we've got no glare to cope with. We can clearly see what's going on without it dazzling our eyes, which obviously the sun rather does. And it's a nice observation. So, skeptical, what's your view on the setting of the moon below the horizon?
It's weird, isn't it?
I mean, again, this is not really...
Hold on, Chemo. Don't rush in and save him. The UK White Knight. You stop right there. Now, if he doesn't want to answer, he can be a big boy and say, I don't want to answer. Not run away again like I said he would. After claiming a win he never took. Thanks for playing skeptical. Right, Kimo, you answer the moonset question. It's back on you, head honcho.
Oh, the eclipse. Oh, that's simple. That's Rahu. Globebusters were talking
Excuse me. Focus, Kimo.
What?
I said moonset.
Moonset. Oh, let's take. I've never seen a moonset.
Wow.
35 seconds. Okay.
It's about your attention span, isn't it?
Yeah, moon goes down. It's going down. Looks like it's going down. Okay. What's the problem?
How does it go down on a flat Earth?
Well, that's just appeared. Do you not hear my sentence? It appears to go down.
You didn't use the appears in your sentence.
I did. I said it appears to go down.
No. You added that. Second time
yeah, exactly.
This is what we would call an optical illusion. And
cool. So you can't believe your senses, is what you're saying?
No, because we have measurements, practical physical measurements, we know that the horizon is not geometrical.
Well, we know that the horizon is geometric, but it's affected by refraction, so that's cool. So again, the problem we've got is we clearly see an object not reducing in size at all, but sinking below a horizon line.
It wouldn't
This does not comport. This does not comport with what I've heard from other flat earthers. I don't know your position specifically on this, but the moon seems to disappear behind the horizon. That's what we observe. That's what we see. That's our observation.
I mean, of course, we make all kinds of observations. Without the experiment, we're not going to have any knowledge.
No, you can have knowledge from an observation.
Well, I mean, you can take a guess.
No, you can have absolute knowledge from an observation. I can say that it takes me 6 hours to drive from A to B plus or minus traffic. That is a measurement. That's an observation, and that has knowledge to it.
That's not an observation.
That is an observation. An observation includes, looking at something, measuring something. Those are all observations.
No, not when you drive. That's not an observation.
That is an observation.
What are you talking about? Definitely is.
Distance is
even that moonset would have taken a certain amount of time, so you could.
I walk to the location. Let's remove the car.
Know how much time.
I walk, so there's nothing outside the natural world now, and it takes me X amount of time to walk to my friend's house and back.
Right, you've scared Brian off now.
Brian ran away when I asked him, can he not humble himself to the things he doesn't understand or have the information, and he ran away because he obviously hit a mental wall, and then to throw it all in one big blanket statement, it's all wrong, they're always speaking shit, blah, blah, blah. When I asked him to refute it through mathematics, he couldn't.
Trying to deflect from the situation that he's currently got himself in to bring it back to the meta rather than addressing the issue at hand.
Yeah,
I've already answered that. Black Swan. Black Swan is the answer to your horizon question.
Black Swan's easily explained on the globe, and it's not purely indicative of a flat Earth.
No. Black Swan is easily explained on the.
No, Kimo.
No. So the Black
Swan doesn't answer my questions in the past. So if you're not going to engage in those, we're not going back to the Black Swan for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, but that moon set is because of the Black Swan. If you don't understand the Black Swan, you wouldn't understand what you would think it's going over the horizon.
There's no distortion whatsoever in that moon set.
Yeah, but that's not the physical geometrical horizon.
No, and
it's going out of view.
It's not going around the Earth, though, is it?
Yeah, but it's going out of view, Kimo.
But not around the ball.
Isn't it?
No.
No.
Explain why it goes out of view.
Because of the atmospheric lensing.
At night time.
At night time.
Sorry, atmospheric lensing is going to make something look like it's going below a horizon.
Yes.
I thought atmospheric lensing magnifies things.
It does, yeah. Also that too.
So can you show me your natural,
absolutely.
Observable? Can you show me your experiment where you've collected this data?
Absolutely.
And and I would like to see that, please.
Absolutely. We've got the facts, the figures, the numbers, everything you need to help you understand the Earth.
Well, I don't need your rhetoric. I want the data.
As I'm getting up, I'm just talking. As I'm looking for it, as I'm clicking the buttons, about to give you your experiment of nature.
Why do you all run away?
I'm going to bet that there is no method to this experiment. There is going to be no statement of what the objectives or the hypothesis is. I'm going to say I doubt there's going to be... Sorry?
I'm clicking it now. You should get it in less than 30 seconds, hopefully. This answers your issue of over the horizon. Yeah, here we go.
Oh no, the moon. We're talking specifically about the moon here.
It doesn't matter about the object. Replicate this.
No. We're talking about the moon. The moon is not an object on the surface of the sea, which is what you're trying to look at here. Yep. What we're looking at is we're looking at an object coming down from the sky and going below the line of the horizon.
Been done.
And disappearing from view. That's not represented in this video.
That's been done. Yeah, we've got objects in the sky above the horizon, and they appear to go down due to the atmosphere. Been done. You need to catch up.
So where's the method in this video? I'm not seeing it.
Method. So you just take a lens, object.
No, I'm looking for you to give me, what's the hypothesis, what's the method? It's not in here.
See objects in nature disappear. Step 2, form a hypothesis. Step 3, to simplify it, conduct an experiment. If your experiment agrees with hypothesis, then you are right. If it disagrees with hypothesis, then you're wrong. And my experiment here agrees with experiment.
What was the experiment?
Really doesn't. He's got a magnifying glass in front of an object, which is obviously a curved lens.
Yep.
And then he's pulling it away from the magnifying glass and going, aha, therefore it's sinking. So the problem I've got is with that example that you have there, Chemo, is one of the requirements for magnification is to have a focal point for the observer.
That's not what we see in nature.
Yeah, that's exactly what we see in nature.
Can you replicate it?
Yeah, I can with a magnifying glass.
Let's have a look there. Let's see it.
I haven't done the experiment, but I'm sure you would agree if I'm looking through a magnifying glass
and someone else who's done it,
and you're looking from a different angle in that magnifying glass, you're going to see something different, aren't you?
Can you show someone who's done this?
Can you just grab a magnifying glass and do that experiment for yourself? You've got a pair of glasses.
You don't have you or anyone else who's done this.
I've never looked for it, Chemo, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've got information that I don't, like you do. What I'm saying is, if you look through a magnifying glass, I'm looking at one now, I'm looking at it straight on, I get a nice clear image of what I'm looking at when I get it to its focal point. Right. Now I bring that away, it all goes horribly blurred, bring it back into focus, and now it's nice and sharp. So that would be a problem, because everybody would have to be at the focal point of your magnifying glass, and that's not possible.
That's what they say, that's what the talk is about.
Yeah, this is a classic uneducated, unqualified experiment from Flat Earth. Fantastic. Thank you for showing me my point of how ignorant you are. And calling yourself scientists may feel good, but in reality, when it's put to the test, it doesn't look good.
Well, again, it agrees with hypothesis. So what more can we do?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What, do you have
because you're flawed and your test is unfair from the get-go.
But do you have an experiment?
Do you have a clue?
To debunk my experiment. Have one. No, you just have words.
You need to use a real massive lens.
You do that?
Falsification doesn't require replacement, Chemo, I believe. Is a common chant that I hear from you flat earthers. Precisely. So why are you asking us for a replacement when we're falsifying the premise of your experiment? Because it's not been done very well.
It, then. Because you said so.
I've just told you why it's a problem. I explained it to you.
Because you said
so. And that's demonstrably the case because I've just literally done that experiment. Like, okay, carry on, Chemo. You don't want other people to talk.
Is that the new argument from the Globers? Because I said so.
No, that's not the new argument from the Globe, Chemo, and you know that. But you won't want to hear anyone else talk, so you go on. You just rattle on.
You're making me laugh. You're saying because I said so, it's been falsified because I said so.
No, I literally did a practical experiment in front of myself to show that with a magnifying glass. Anybody can get a magnifying glass, and you can bring something into focus, and then you get a nice magnified image. You draw it away, it all goes horribly blurred. That's the problem you've got with atmospheric lensing. Unless you think that's not the case, do you disagree with that statement?
About. Yes, that's the idea.
Do you disagree with the statement that is made?
I don't know. You did an experiment to show us.
It's funny though, Kimo, because the boat shrinks.
I've done an experiment, and again, you can grab a pair of glasses, a magnifying glass, whatever magnifying lens you want to use, and you can bring an object into focus, and then when you move away from that object, it all goes horribly blurred as the distance between the object, the lens, and your eyes changes. Basic fucking physics for light, which we've known for over 300 years.
Of course, yeah, we can be anything, do anything you want to do. Does anyone actually do it though?
Yeah. I've just literally done it. I've just grabbed a magnifying glass. I've just done that experiment myself. I'm saying to you, because no matter what I do, that will not be good enough evidence. I would suggest you grab a magnifying glass, focus in on an object, and then move that magnifying glass towards your eyes, and you notice that everything becomes blurred. This shows you that the magnifying glass requires a focal point. What you could then do is put it in a fixed position and then change your angle of observation to that magnifying glass to see how that would affect it as well. And that would also disprove your position.
So you say.
And the magnifying boat doesn't make sense to us when it gets smaller and smaller as it goes away. Shouldn't it stay magnified? That's weird.
Or it should get blurred and out of focus.
It's weird, isn't it?
None of these things that we observe. And again, Kimo's not even prepared to just grab a magnifying glass and do a 2.5 second experiment to actually validate that for himself. Because he's not interested in the truth. He's only interested in delivering his rhetoric.
No way, no chance. Yeah. No way I would do that.
Unfortunately, too, Just, for a plan B, we'd get other people like, Brian or Skeptical, but they're too pussy or too weak or too afraid or whatever it may be to actually, stand behind whatever Kimo's saying. They like to stay silent or even run away. And, I find that very telling, for these big flat earth warriors that Kimo talks about. Call yourself Spartans, hardly. You're not even those little plastic toy figures.
They could be Spartans, they're just the ones that were left out on the hill.
Yeah. You're not even those little army men. Those little army men that stand by themselves and you don't have to hold them up. You're not even those things. Pathetic.
Just leave the education to us, guys. We've got this.
The other thing I'd like to know is how does
I'm not
bits
talking
of the
Alan.
atmosphere...
You got me kicked out of Terry's room for no reason. Don't talk to me.
Shut the fuck up while I'm talking, Kimo.
Talk to Foolish and Sheeple.
Yeah, he's talking to me, Kimo.
He was addressing Dross.
Dross, the other thing I want to know is how does the atmosphere...
Well, what's with this circle jerking here?
The spherical surfaces required to actually act as a lens while doing the refraction.
Yeah, that's another problem I have.
Whoa, where's the challenge here? What's this? If you want to socialise, guys, I'm sure there was socialise.
Oh, sorry, Kimo, you're outnumbered. There's me and Druss and Alan who want to speak to one person who doesn't. Sorry, unless you've got your two friends that ran away.
Well, I don't understand why you want to socialise in a flat earth room.
We're not socialising, Kimo. We're discussing the properties of refraction and magnification within the atmosphere. Is this not a scientific topic connected to the flat earth?
No,
or are you derailing the conversation and gatekeeping once again?
You'll just agree with one another. There's just yes, man. Yes, man. No opposition here.
I'd like to add my 2 cents worth in as well. I've got a Mr. Sensible video in the side chat when he did an actual experiment to do with the horizon and refraction. So I thought that was interesting.
Fantastic, Terry. Thank you.
Back to the most.
See, that's another person that wants to hear the conversation against you, Kimo. So you're pretty far outnumbered right now. Any of your flat earth brethren around?
It's not about consensus. It's about what we can demonstrate.
Crickets.
Yeah, well, I'm demonstrating it in a video. That's evidence.
Evidence of what, Terry?
Refraction.
No refraction happens. Talking about things disappearing over the horizon. You got that, Terry?
Oh, that's the curve, though. Yeah, we've got that sorted. Thanks.
You got that sorted? Let's have a look at the curvature.
Oh, no. We've already done that.
Oh, I get another one because I said so. That's the globe earth argument today. Is because I said so. Let's try and say God did it then. How long will that last? God did it.
I mean, you can live with that.
God did it. God created you. God created the earth. God created the heavens.
Okay.
God did it.
Okay.
So let's preach today. Should we get the Bible out today and start with the beginning? Should we start with Genesis today? Should we start preaching? Is it preaching day today or what?
If you wish, on you go. Start preaching the word.
Get the Bible
Sunday,
out then.
isn't it?
From the beginning, in the beginning?
In the beginning, there was
Exactly. We're not here to preach.
He was a mongoloid.
We're here to teach.
And he was an example of what not to be.
Here to educate.
Some called him Cain.
Now, obviously, if you want to talk about God, always can, of course, but we're not in a Bible room. We're in a room of science.
Nobody was trying to stop you. I was agreeing with you, Chemo, you know?
Well, we're not in a religion room.
Anyway, Kimo, there's something more important I would like to talk about. Rizla, how's your ringing in the ears?
Again, if you want to socialise, then, sheeple, there are places.
Sorry, Kimo, you can shut your mouth.
No,
sorry, Rizla, what was that?
You're derailing sheeple. You get upset. You get angry because you've lost the argument. You have nothing.
I lose shit, mate. You lost your team of battlers.
If you're bored and you're tired, you need a rest. Okay.
I'll wreck you half asleep like I always do.
Well, like I said, there's a time for socialising, and it's not now.
You know why I'm half asleep? Because you first put me half to sleep.
Well,
listening to you drone on before I engage.
You should complete the rest of that and go to sleep and wake up fresh and ready to prove the globe if you can.
You're a mongoloid.
Well, what we are people who ask questions. That's what we are.
No, you're nothing. How about that?
We're not claiming to be something. Well, we may be something if it turns out that you today cannot provide.
So you were going on and on about how great you were before. You know, how there was no arguments left, and with this and with that. And when challenged 2 of your flat earth brethren, they ran for the hills.
No. Obviously, Brian had something to do, and Skeptical.
Oh, yeah, Brian had something to do. Okay, what about Skeptical? What did he do?
He's still here.
Yes, but he's silent, so he might as well be not here.
Well, he may be making a cup of tea or something to that effect.
Sure, dude. Whatever you need to tell yourself to not see that your big, tough warriors ran off. Now, shut up for a second while I get a simple answer from Rizla, if you don't mind.
No, well, again, Rizla, if you want to discuss those elements of life...
You don't need to talk, Chemo. You can just shut up for a second.
Well, what we're doing, we're looking for
Have some self-control, Chemo, and shut up for 10 seconds. See if you can do it. See if you can do it.
People, we're looking for evidence of a globe. Okay? Nobody cares.
No, you can't do it, can you? It's all about you, Chemo, isn't it? It's all about you.
No, it's not about me.
It's all about you.
It's not about me.
Even though I'm crying about somebody's house, it's all about you. You can't wait 10 fucking seconds or less.
No, well, that's God's punishment.
You despicable.
It's God's punishment.
Lukewarm.
I am a healthy person because God understands that I'm doing the right thing, and He protects the soul, the mind, and the body. Now, if you're sick...
Well, I'm trying to talk to one of God's children, and you're trying to interrupt me pridefully like Satan would. So why don't you shut your mouth for 10 seconds?
Clearly, that's probably why he wants the Bible. Let me go and get the Bible, yeah. I understand now. Obviously, time is short.
Yeah, my ears are still ringing.
Oh, bloody hell. As bad as it was, has it subsided?
Chemo now or because of the job.
Was it much worse in the beginning? Has it kind of subsided? Or?
No, it's exactly the same. It's not abated. In fact, it's getting worse, I think.
Fucking hell.
I know. I've told my doctor's well aware of it now. I'm trying to arrange a test so that I've got something officially on record.
What, do you want us to pray for you, Rizla, or something?
Yes, Chemo.
People, give him a prayer. You're a Christian.
Oh, I thought you said pay, not pray. Sorry.
Pray for him, sheeple.
Sure.
Go on then.
Why did you ask if you wanted to pray for him?
Go on then, sheeple. Pray for him then, sheeple. Let's hear you pray for him.
It would be better if you prayed for me, Chemo, because I am a Christian.
Don't listen to Rizla. He's got the demons inside. Pray for him, sheeple. Pray.
If he wants a prayer, I'll pray for him.
Doesn't matter what he wants. The demons don't want prayer. You have to pray the demons out.
Well, he's got free will there, Gamer. So pray the demons out.
Go on. Are you embarrassed?
If someone bought me a PS5, that'd be better.
You're embarrassed, sheeple.
I'm not embarrassed, Kimo. Don't ever say I'm embarrassed by faith.
Pray. Pray for his healing, his health, good health.
Heavenly Father, I ask you to lay your hands upon Rizla in this time that he has ringing in the ears, possibly caused by the vaccine or any other means. In so doing, that you make him healthier, stronger, and so that he may enjoy his life the way it was before. In your name we pray. Amen.
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 Excellent, excellent. So, let's continue with the scriptures. So let's all everybody turn to Psalms. Psalms. Oh, it's in Roman numerals.
Yeah. We've got a suggestion from chat. Now I've been prayed for. How about we perform an exorcism on you?
I'm already saved. All demons have been released.
Oh no, you've got plenty of demons inside you, buddy.
We have the light.
Plenty of demons. A few skeletons in there as well, I reckon.
Okay, so the word of the Lord. This is Ezekiel, came unto me, saying, "Now thou son of man."
Whoa! Someone came in you. What? This is a fucking not suitable for work conversation, kid. Well, stop. That's disgusting.
Okay, let's move forward.
Disgusting.
See, we're not in the place of discussing the word.
For that.
See? And that's not what it's about, sheep. Okay, it's about exposing the liars, obviously, which is.
Can you give me your interpretation of Ezekiel 16:17?
No, we're not in the religion room. What is wrong with you?
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah.
You even got your Bible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because I thought we were going to have it was just like thought, but
then
we're not really in a religious room to have a religious discussion.
Justify something.
But it was a good prayer, though. If the Father wishes.
No, ears are still ringing.
No, if he wishes that to be. I think he has a lot more.
I think you could be a bit more concerned that I believe it was the COVID job what's caused this.
Yeah, it would have been the COVID, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Absolutely, we warned you. But just wait for you to say, now your immune system.
The thing is, though, it's a small sacrifice for me
for
the greater good, though, right? So I'm happy with it. So what's your problem?
Is that anytime you get a sickness now, it won't. Your body won't be able to fight it as strong. Yeah. Your body is weaker now. Your immune system.
I could get £120,000 for it, though.
Yeah, well, again, you can't take the money to heaven, so
that'll sweeten the deal.
Enjoy it. You can't take it to the other side, so enjoy it.
Well, if you get that money, you buy everyone a PS5.
Yeah, everyone but fucking Spasmo.
So, Sheepa, what we're looking for is the scientific evidence.
You get a PS5. You get a Timo, you get a fuck off.
So, what we're looking for is proof, demonstrations, something to verify that what we were told about the.
So you do get 120k? I'll piss it away in a weekend in Vegas or something.
Yeah. Right, we're not socialising, Rizla. Stop doing that.
You might not be. I am.
Get a couple of Bitcoin and wait for it to go up, and then sell them, and make 50k or something, and then do it again.
Causing problems.
We're talking about Bitcoin, man. It gets discussed.
I know what you're talking about. You're just trying to wind me up when there was an audience who wants to hear the science from the globe earthers about the heliocentric model. Right, you're just teasing me.
Give me an experiment showing that.
No, I know what's going on here right now. I know what this is. Okay, I'm on to you too. Okay, and what we're looking for.
So what you got to do is start abusing your mods.
No. I know exactly. I know what he's up to. Okay,
I'm just watching to see when I go server meters.
We're trying to rock the boat, as it were. Yes, but that's not going to happen. Going to stay strong because you just prayed people in the Lord's name, and we're going to.
I'm actually. Rizla, I'm actually conducting an experiment at the moment.
Oh, did he cut out for anybody else?
Yeah, he kind of cut out end of his. He cut out after moment.
Okay, we've got one. We've got no votes for yes, and we've got 1 vote for no. Chemo.
Oh, quick poll.
You think this is a democracy?
Yes.
So, Chemo,
You think this is a social club?
This is not a social club, no.
Who's got the speaker on? Well, no, I wasn't actually even speaking. That was someone. That was someone trying to.
Are you listening to the YouTube stream, Ross?
I think he is. Yeah. But we fixed that now. On mute. Live stream, playing it through the live stream. He's done a gin. He's arguing with himself here.
It was a bit strange. Something was happening, Ross. I don't know if you can hear it.
Well,
or was this out of time and his words are getting cut out every...
you, Dress, and it was coming through your mic.
It's not coming through my mic, Chemo.
You were lighting up when it was happening.
He's right. You were lighting up, dude.
Yeah, I know, because I was trying to say that's not me speaking.
But it was you speaking.
Someone's doing a soundboard on you. Right, okay.
Doing his own soundboard through his own mic.
Oh, was that you, Chemo?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're a fucking turd if it was, man. Jesus.
So, back to the most important question.
The most
we're looking for
thing,
science. We do love science.
You know, we were having a fucking giggle there, and you've changed the tone of it completely.
Yeah, because it's going to go into this. I know where this is going. And you know, again, what's important? We have a short time. We're gonna die soon.
Shit.
Some of you can waste your time in the time you're here.
Out of shit on a server in one swift move by Chemo.
And
well done.
We need to obviously reveal this information as far and as wide as possible in the short time that we are here on the Earth. We get up to 120 years to get the message out. Some people won't even live half of that. Okay, so we've got to be.
The audience is saying they don't really want to listen to you, Chemo.
It's not a democracy.
Well, you said this is what the audience wants, and I'm proving you wrong. So it's nothing to do with the democratic situation or not. It's to do with the falsification of your fucking statement, if you're not smart enough to work that out, mate.
Well, yes, we know what the audience wants. We know what the people want.
You see, he's saying it's not a democracy, so that means he thinks it's his service to do as he wills.
The people are thirsty.
That's fucking disgusting. So,
not according to the people. Yeah,
people are not according to
no, they're not. This is directly opposed with the comments that are currently in the chat for people watching the live stream, Chemo. They're not thirsty for you. They're bored of you. They don't want to listen to you. They think that you're full of shit, and those are the responses that are coming back from the live chat. So
what about me?
I don't know where you're getting this false analysis from that these people are thirsty or hungry for your words, because it's clear and evident that they're not, and it's clear and evident you've come in and you've derailed the conversation to try and focus it purely on you because you're a narcissist, in my opinion.
It's not about me. We've got to focus on the most important aspects of the conversation. Now, those important aspects are the scientific aspects, scientific parts, what we're looking for.
Well, that's your opinion, Chemo.
What we're looking for science to back up the claim that we live.
Which we provided you.
Okay, you keep on interrupting me. I'll let you finish. Let me finish. Is that fair?
Well, remember this next time you start over talking me again, or the next time you start over talking someone else because you don't like what they're saying. And I'll remind you of this.
Okay,
remember.
So you've just done it again. Not even listening.
No, I did listen. I waited for you to stop talking.
Into a silly argument. Looking for it. Yeah. As I've said earlier on, we were told. If spherical object. That spherical object radius. Now,
what's the subject, Sheepy?
Just chemo script page 7. I think we're up to, Terry.
What Well, Terry, we're just trying to find...
through the, we're looking for evidence and you're not showing any of it. Just that same old rhetoric, Terry.
No.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, well, what do you do in your server, Terry? The one that you...
We talk about science and stuff.
Well, let's do it then. Let's talk about science then, okay?
What scientific credentials do you have, Kima?
Not about me.
Well, how are we going to talk about it if you don't know anything about it?
How do you know that?
Because you just said it's not about you.
It's about science. You talk about science in your room. You don't have any credentials, do you? Let's move forward. What kind of science?
I've got enough experience.
All right, post your diploma or your degree online for us now. Let's have a look.
It's not about Terry.
Exactly.
It's not about
Terry. Exactly. Exactly.
What do you class as credentials? What, a certificate or a degree?
I just said post your degree online for us now.
But you don't have to have a degree.
Oh, all of a sudden you don't have to have all that stuff. So let's forget about that, Terry, and let's talk about the science. How about that?
But Chemo, you have to remember, Terry doesn't try and claim to be a fucking expert on science, unlike some fuckwits.
Well, Terry, Alan, I told you, you made a fuss about me being in Terry's server. Terry invited me there, and you were crying that I was there for some reason. Well, I wasn't even talking half the time, just listening in. And, yeah, so don't talk to me.
Well, you obviously overstayed your welcome.
I was just relaxing, listening to the Aussies go back and forth. Alan was getting really upset and jealous just of my presence. I made a big song and dance about it.
Were you contributing to the conversation?
At times. Remember we had a conversation about me coming to Australia with Ranty, remember? And then Alan started moaning. Yes? And then you were like, oh, Alan doesn't like this situation, Chemo. Sorry, mate, you gotta go.
So maybe you better unmute Druss, because now you know what it feels like being fucking muted by people, don't you, Chemo?
Not your server, it's Terry's server.
This isn't your server, so why don't you fuck off?
Because Flat Earth is...
Just unmute Druss. Go on, be a fucking big man and let people who can make you look a fucking idiot speak.
Well, did you mute Druss again?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear Druss's input. Thank you.
Druss.
Thank you, Chemo.
What? Who did that?
It's not about you, Chemo.
Okay, let's
You're losing this battle, my friend. From the moment you opened your mouth about how strong Flat Earth was, I spoke up and showed you, in my layman's way, just how pathetic and weak you all are. And you, when approached with 2 topics, ran for the hills and showed us some insignificant, unrelated observation of a frickin' magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm. Is that subject I'm bringing up? Is that subject I'm bringing up about scientific credentials a good topic to talk about?
Well, it actually touched on what I first said, Terry, when I asked Chemo for the long list of qualified flat earthers. He couldn't tell me anything but a few names, and followed up with, we're all scientists, really. And then I asked about the fields that they were qualified in. He said engineers. So nothing on the topics that he tries to dismiss or hand wave away. So kind of proved my point. Then he asked me about astrophysics. He asked me about who do I know. I said Chronic's an astrophysicist, PhD level.
And I asked you,
and then Brian screamed and yelled and did his little tantrum.
What science has Chronic ever done? Like rocket scientist, has he ever done science in his life? No. All he does is sit behind a computer.
I'd say yes.
Okay, so tell me what you think rocket scientist has done. Exactly. Don't get Rocket to answer for you. You just think of,
a range of science regarding, chemicals, reactions, a range of science, mathematic calculations, orbital mechanics, you have
no idea, do you?
High level
I think
physics.
it'd be up to Rocket. I think it'd be better if Rocket actually explained.
No. We don't want rocket scientists. We want other people to suppose what a rocket scientist, what he's supposed to do. What does a rocket scientist actually do?
Do you want what specifically rocket scientist has done, or do you want what rocket scientists do?
Yeah, that's what I was confused. What the question was.
So, Sheeple, what do you suppose rocket scientists has done that is science? Give me the observed phenomenon that rocket scientists saw. Give me his independent variable. What did he manipulate? Or did he just sit behind a computer and drink coffee?
I think he's reached the level where he's able to sit behind, but I think the level that he's going to take at least 10 years to get there.
Let's try again.
So,
what did rocket scientists observe scientifically to
manipulate? You're like Brian Mabbott asking me what Chronic knows.
No. I'm asking what science.
Do you understand the logical disconnect that I have here for you? You ask me about another person's life and what they've done as if I know it.
Exactly.
To begin
I'm saying
with.
to you that these guys don't.
And then when you're offered, why don't we ask the person themselves? No. I want to hear it from Sheeple. Like you're trying to put me in some gotcha.
He sits behind a computer, drinking coffee, playing games.
Sheeples, I don't know if you've noticed, but in debate chat box, Rocket Scientist has posted satellite dynamics and control, specifically nonlinear control systems for propulsion controlled at the libration points.
Not
There you
science.
go. Oh, that's not science? Okay.
That's not
Satellite
science.
dynamics. What satellites? Exactly. So he's sitting there behind a computer.
Those things that are in bloody orbit around the planet.
Around
The things I've seen up in the sky and the
What
things
planet?
I've personally communicated with, Chemo. Those things. That's what we're talking
presupposing a
about.
planet when there is no evidence of said planet.
Oh,
Well, again,
Hold on.
you see no evidence of the said planet, but you've been shown plenty. You just disregard it.
Right,
So to say there's no evidence is a lie.
gonna show
To say you
evidence now, or
don't
are you
agree
gonna
with the
derail?
evidence would be the truth, wouldn't it?
Are you going to
But
show
again,
evidence on
thank
this
you for
planet?
letting me finish my point without over
Because you
talking
just
me.
interrupted
Like you
me
commented
to say
earlier,
nonsense yet
and I
again.
said that I would remind you of this.
Yeah, again, you've
Yeah.
interrupted me to say nonsense. So you said a planet. Do you have evidence of this planet?
Have you been shown evidence in the
Right,
past
so
of
you
this
don't have
planet?
evidence, so you don't need to interrupt anymore.
No, I'm asking you a
Stop
question. Chemo.
interrupting him, Chemo. You said,
said he's
all
shown it
high and
already.
mighty about not interrupting
He
and
said
letting
he's
you
already
finish.
shown this evidence.
Stop talking through his evidence or his
He's repeated that
replies.
He's shown this evidence.
Please,
Right,
child.
but go ahead.
Imo, isn't boiling water science?
We see boiling water in nature, yes.
Yeah, okay, so rocket scientists perhaps have boiled water in his life, so he's done science in your standards.
Then we're all rocket scientists, then, yes?
No, we're all scientists according to you.
We're all
not according to
scientists
me.
if we boil
According to
water,
you.
yes?
Yeah, according to you. You said that it's science. So,
So what science
Not-
do you
not
suppose
right,
rocket
mate.
scientist has actually done in his real life, day to day? Not one thing. Nothing.
Well, again, you're making
what
that
exactly are
claim.
you
and
contending here, Spurs?
Hey, is that Was?
Yeah, what exactly are you contending
G'day,
here?
Was. How's it going, mate?
Yeah,
Oh,
good,
fuck
mate.
you and your fake accents.
Give me my fake accent. What do you want a bit?
what
Hey,
is
well,
he
very
doing
good,
this?
sir. How about you?
Why is he doing this
I'm all right,
socialization
mate.
rather than dealing with the
Yeah,
science that
yeah.
people want to talk
That's a very
about?
good English.
I wanted
accent,
to-
Was.
Chit chat.
I wonder
What
too,
are you
Joss.
contending?
Rules for thee, not for me type thing, isn't it?
Of course you can greet people, but obviously getting into what did you have for dinner is a different question. I'm saying g'day, Was.
What are
Did
you
I ask
questioning,
anybody what
Spurs?
they had for dinner, Chemo? You stupid cunt.
I'm going to say g'day,
Sorry, I mean,
and now
Chemo.
we're going to get into...
What are you questioning? Is my mic too low?
It's very low, Was.
Yes, you're very low, Was.
Okay.
Like you do in, what is that, Lombarda? No, limbo dancing.
I can't do much about it, unfortunately.
You're going to have to talk
I'll
louder,
tell you
mate.
what was, I can hear you much better.
You're going to have to talk a little bit louder.
What are you questioning here, Spurs, precisely? Are you
Everything
questioning
about the
him being a
heliocentric
scientist?
everything about the heliocentric... Oh, in terms of rocket scientists. Yeah, we're asking about what science does rocket scientists do at work? And we've found out he just sits at the computer, drinking coffee, looking at a
And
date.
doing science stuff.
No, but that's what we're trying to find out now.
Chemo, what's the libration points that he mentioned? What are they?
I have no idea. What is it? Is it science?
Well, then shut your mouth.
But is it science?
It's out of your league.
Is it? Yes, maybe if it's not science.
Humble yourself that you're ignorant because you never put the effort in.
Ignorant.
I can. You try it.
Tell me about it. Is it science? We'll decide here and now.
Spurs, it's science, but not as you know it.
Go on then. How is it science? Science it on me. Let's have a look.
I can't explain it to you because it's not how you know it.
There you go then.
It's not how he doesn't know it either.
And it can't be demonstrated. So,
all right,
go from
you
there.
got it?
Exactly, bizarre.
You can't accept it. It can't be explained
You're right.
to
It
you.
cannot be accepted because there is no validation, repeatability in this
accept
science.
It.
Neither can you, Woz.
Accept it.
Neither can you.
You can't accept
Neither
it.
can you.
Why not?
Because it's not science.
What is science?
Science is an observed phenomenon of an independent variable cause and effect with an experiment.
And who says that?
That's the definition is.
Where do you get that from?
From the definition of science.
Yeah, from who?
From the dictionary.
Right.
Right.
And that's the only definition, is it?
In the English dictionary.
And is that the only definition?
Well, if you look in the French dictionary, it might be different. But we're not French.
Yeah, if you look at a dictionary, it might be different.
Yeah, if you look at a different dictionary from a different country, they might have a different explanation. But we speak
so then
Australian.
What makes it right then? How come the English one's right? So you're saying there's more definitions?
I don't know.
There you go. You admit there's more definitions to
science.
Let's
find out.
Let's find out.
We can find out from sheeple. Sheeple, what's the definition in Japanese? Different or the same?
Of what?
You just said they're different.
Science, I can't remember.
Don't know how it was. We don't know what it is in Japanese.
It's something I can't remember.
No, we're talking about the definition. Is it the same in Japanese? I didn't mute you, Mole Man, whoever's muted.
Yeah, sure. It would be, wouldn't it?
Here we go with the definition of science dictionary from Google. Noun: the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behaviour of the physical and natural world through observation and
experiment. Yes, did you hear that, Was? Maybe you want to say it again, Alan. He said it's through observation and experiment.
How can you experiment with a structure? How do you experiment with a structure?
Hold on a minute, mate. Did you hear that?
Can you stop?
Just fell off completely.
Doing the fucking accent.
Sorry. It's just I want to hear so many Aussies. It's like when it's like living with you Aussies. So when you live.
Can you hear me still?
Like being in Australia almost. I hear you guys that often. Trying to pick it up.
Hello, test.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Here you find Was.
So observation is part of science.
No, that's not what Alan said. You didn't listen. Your microphone's cutting out. Your connection is breaking up.
The headphones are fine?
No, you sound fine, Was.
No, you must have broke up when Alan was reading it.
No, I didn't. You were coming through clear. You just couldn't hear me. Microphone's got nothing to do with headphones.
Yeah, but I'm saying Alan didn't say what you said, so you must have broke up.
They're different systems. You can see that. It's
Again, Alan didn't say any of that. Must have broke up, Was. Refresh, come back.
Did he not say observation?
No,
was not observation one of the words in that description?
Refresh, come
observation,
back. Refresh.
Observation and experiment.
Ah, you heard that part. Excellent.
Observation and experiment. So I did hear it. Observation is part of science.
I think actually I'll take the definition I just posted in the debate chat box from the Science Council.
So now or sheeple, what has rocket scientist observed and experimented with at work, or when he was at college, or when he was at university, or at school, or in his personal life, in the professional life, in any kind of life, any walk of life? Where has rocket scientists ever conducted observation and
hold
experiment?
on. I'll just channel him. Hold
easy.
on. I'll just channel him. Hold on a second.
That's easy. He's seen satellites. There you go. Observation done.
Yeah.
Science
And
completed.
remember,
Oh no, the live stream is down. What's wrong with it?
Oh dear. What have you done, Spurs?
What's going on?
You broke it, Chemo.
Oh no, the information's not going out far and wide.
Oh no.
Well, I'm recording it anyway, so at least once it's uploaded, maybe more sector might get hold of the information. Again, all we're looking for is at least one person to have their eyes opened
and experiment.
Can't change the whole world overnight, and I guess the general idea is just to affect your environment, and obviously the knock-on effect will. So hopefully Gem or Branch or whoever's in control of the live stream will get us back live. But yeah, back to rocket scientists. This is the guy, and you said Chronic. Now, Chronic. All we hear Chronic do is giggle. Giggle.
No, Chemo, you're not here when he's here.
He asked the
so what are you talking about?
What about this?
What are you talking about?
You've been doing a bit of that yourself, Spurs.
Yeah, I reckon.
No.
Good point was.
Like, he doesn't do science. Again, it's all numbers.
Well, neither do you.
We do.
Oh, Chemo, the answers come from Rocket. Sorry, was.
I've developed control algorithms
I've got to go inside
for a
anyway.
satellite constellation differential drag to phase the spacecraft, then launch the satellites. Oh God. The satellite.
Who's the giggling Gertie now?
Yeah, I reckon was. See? You don't even understand what that means, do you, Chemo? That's why you're laughing.
Let somebody read it who understands it.
Yeah.
And isn't going to giggle like a fucking girly. Okay. Go. I've developed control algorithms for a satellite constellation using differential drag to phase the spacecraft. Then launched the satellites and tested the algorithm in space.
Yeah.
There you go. Which is pretty damn cool.
A bit funny because he spoke about two things. Well, they may exist.
Hold on, Chemo. Just for the audience, because you're the smartest one here. Just explain to us what differential drag is, please.
Well, like I said, all of these things here are made up. Okay, when it comes to space.
Okay, what's the made up meaning of differential drag? Go.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you the whole sentence.
What's a control algorithm as well? Maybe those two. Put them together.
Goodness. We're talking about science. Okay? Now, what we're looking at here to do differential drag, when we see that he talks about satellites, he talks about algorithms, talking about rockets and spacecraft. Now, this entire
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I rest my case.
So what we've got here is a sentence that is anti-science. Okay, we asked rocket scientists for science. And all he's done says he controls object that doesn't exist in a place that doesn't exist, performing differentials with spacecrafts that obviously do not exist because space does not exist.
I would like you to prove that space doesn't exist and spacecraft don't exist based on the fact that I've posted recently in the chat photographs that I've taken of bloody satellites in orbit.
No, that's impossible because space is a second violation.
So you're calling me a fucking liar now, are you?
Space is a second violation, okay, of thermodynamics. Now we know you cannot have gas pressure.
What was the first violation? You mean second law, Chemo?
Yeah, this is a violation of
three violations and you're out.
The thermodynamics.
So explain the photographs I took then, Chemo. What are they?
What are what?
The photographs that I took. What are the photographs? What are they photographs of then? If they are not photographs of fucking satellites in orbit.
That's just an aircraft, that is. That is a...
That's not an aircraft that would fly in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It just couldn't fly in the atmosphere. It's not aerodynamically shaped. It hasn't got wings for a start.
Yes, that is just a huge bomber. And then obviously around it is a hologram.
No, Chemo, learn your shit. The U-2 was never a bomber, and they don't operate them anymore. It's now called the TR-1, right. And it's a reconnaissance aircraft, and always has been.
Yeah, well, all the ISS is just an aircraft with a hologram around it. It's not a big deal. Advanced technology that NASA used. So no one's denying that the ISS is up there.
Hold on. How do holograms work, Chemo?
How do holograms work?
Explain how they work.
Well, obviously they're just projections. Obvious.
No. Obviously they're projection. The holographic projection. Yeah, they're projection. But how do they work?
Oh, I mean, again, that's obvious. They're just projecting light. Okay, not a big.
From what onto what?
Onto what?
From what are they projecting light, and onto what are they projecting it?
Goodness sakes. So, essentially, a hologram is like light firing out.
So you haven't got a fucking clue, have you?
I've just told you.
It's like firing out from what?
I mean, firing out from what?
What?
So it's like a cross between like a photograph and when something looks real. Okay, it's like a photograph, but it's just reflected light off an object. But it looks more real and it's in 3 dimensions. So it just, as you look around it, what's the problem? Everybody knows.
And what are they projecting this light onto up in the sky?
Told you, onto an object.
What object are they projecting it onto?
Never seen a hologram in the atmosphere. See that conference where in France they had a hologram of this guy on stage. Not a big deal. This is old technology. So you got a normal aeroplane, and it's just a hologram. Looking at.
And where's it getting projected from?
Aircraft.
So an aircraft is projecting an image onto an aircraft.
Like
from an aircraft.
From the aircraft. I think nothing surprising. Holograms.
Wait. The aircraft projects the light out, and then that creates a hologram around.
Yes.
You're all one kind of special. You really are.
Wow, yeah, that's why I muted. I was laughing. So
and that's not a compliment, Chemo.
Well, again, it's just a projector. It's not a big deal.
Well, I'm glad you showed your ignorance today, Chemo. First, you thought you were a scientist. Then you would ask just simply explain what you tried to laugh away, fake or not. Couldn't do that. Now you're telling us how the ISS operates and what it is. Question: how did they get the ISS up there?
An aeroplane.
How does the airplane run around the Earth? 15.9 times a day.
When they cut the camera, they switch planes.
When they cut the camera, they switch planes.
Yeah, they're constantly switching planes because they're constantly cutting the camera.
So the ISS, the size of a football field, lands. What plane is underneath? What plane is underneath, Chemo? What plane is underneath?
The bomber, U-2 bomber.
They're not bloody bombers. They're reconnaissance aircraft. They're basically
it's better that you don't correct them, Alan.
Tank. It's a bloody great fuel tank with wings, an engine, and a couple of cameras. That's it.
Problem.
Problem is that you have zero evidence for your claims.
Well, you just got to look at it. You can see it. Alan's showing a picture of it. Hologram.
And there's no exhaust. Is the exhaust covered by the hologram?
Like, got mirrors and all kinds.
Got mirrors
Doesn't
now.
Look like a YouTube. Doesn't look like a YouTube plane though. The ISS that we can see.
Why isn't it not spraying chemtrails?
Why is it not spraying? They don't all have stuff coming out the back.
How come it's going so fast, Kima?
How fast is it?
What's the
It's
maximum
going about
speed of a
17,000
YouTube?
miles.
Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah, as fast as a bullet. Don't be silly.
70,000 miles per hour.
We can measure the speed, Kimo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who's measured this?
Many people have measured it.
Oh
so
yeah, of course.
what airplane could withstand, lift and 17,000 miles per hour?
It doesn't go
And a
that
hologram,
fast.
and a hologram that doesn't even wobble or shake.
It doesn't go that fast.
It doesn't go that fast.
Because you
Another
can measure
claim.
the speed.
It goes around
can have
4,000
two
miles
observers.
an hour, if that.
You can have two observers, know the distance
4,000.
between those two people, and then just measure the speed, the distance over time.
Yeah, no one's ever done that though.
Yes, they have.
They have. Many people have done that. Or are you saying that there's multiple ISSs?
There's multiple airplanes, yeah.
It says it
no,
runs,
yeah, there we
lands
go.
and refills and then takes off again. Nobody sees it.
Well, how are you going to see it?
You're full of shit. We all know that.
Well,
Where do they refuel?
NASA are full of that because they cut the camera when they need to change planes when they reach the ice wall.
How do you know that they changed the planes, and how do you know that they reached the ice wall?
Because we see them cut the camera at the right points on the flat Earth map, on the Gleason's.
Okay, and that's been debunked many times. But they also cut it in the north, so there's an ice wall there too. So it's a cylinder Earth. But how do you know that they have planes?
That's the entrance into Earth, North Pole.
Entrance into the Earth?
Into the Earth.
And your evidence for this is?
No, that's just what they say. There's an entrance. Why they're hiding it?
Who's they?
Kimo, just what they say is that there's an ISS. So, is that good evidence for you now?
Yeah, there is an international sky station. Yes, just an airplane flying around. No big deal.
How high is
you just use
plane
Jules
that you said?
Verne as evidence?
What? What did you say?
Do you know who Jules Verne is?
No.
He wrote this amazing documentary.
Okay.
It's called Journey to the Center of the Earth. Okay. It's all about his true journey when he went through the hole that you're talking about in the north.
Okay.
Old book. Yeah. Also.
What does that mean?
Didn't he also film some of his exploits of actually going to the center of the Earth? So I don't know if they're still around or not.
Yeah, and that amazing trip on the submarine he took.
That was something.
Not to mention his visit to the moon.
Yeah, no one's been to the moon. It's a second violation of the thermodynamic law. Yes.
No, but Kimo, they said that they've been to the moon. That's what
they said that. But when we tried to test their claim, find out that scientifically we cannot demonstrate pressure without a container or pressure or vacuum.
But Kimo, have you tested whether we can go to the center of the Earth from the North Pole?
No.
So why are you claiming it?
I'm saying that's what they say.
Okay, well, they say they went to the moon.
That's what they say, yeah. But again, when we try to test it with science...
Well, why don't we try to test going to the center of the Earth with science?
But how are you going to do that?
Oh, well, we could try to do it.
But with science, how are you going to do that?
Try to go there.
Can't go there. Wait, it's military restricted.
Oh, so now we can't go to the center of the Earth.
Well, nobody's been there that we know.
Ah, okay, so why are you claiming it?
No, Jules Verne went there.
Jules Verne.
Oh, yeah, I stand corrected.
Jules Verne. He went to the north. Go on, then, give us a look at his... did he document it or anything?
Yeah. He's written a book about it.
A book?
Yeah, I can link it to you in the text chat.
Come on, let's get
Kimo,
serious
you're
now.
joking, right?
Is anyone documented going to the North Pole?
Kimo, read a damn book for the love of all good and holy.
Read the book.
Didn't Top Kid drive there?
No, it's how Cypher's not around anymore. He owes me £2,000. That's why you board earthers should be careful about what you say, do, and your actions stuff, because the flat earthers are so intelligent stuff that if you make a bet,
compensate much, Kimo?
No, I'm just saying in general. If you try to make a bet with a flat earther, we will win that bet every single time.
You're so intelligent, you think the Earth is flat.
I wouldn't say I'm intelligent.
No, I wouldn't either.
People have said I am.
Farmers.
Remember, it's not about Kimo.
Not about me.
No. Hold on, Kim. Let me just explain to you. Sorry, explain Farmer's Boy. Your ISS. The ISS is actually a U-2 bomber that's flying around, projecting a hologram the size of a football field. And when it cuts the camera, they switch planes and carry on.
I've seen a U-2 many times because they were actually stationed not too far away from where I grew up. A, it's not a bomber. B, it flies far too slowly to be able to project a hologram that can move at 17,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, he said the bomber's only going at, because he calls it a bomber. It's
Who
going
calls it a bomber?
at 4,000 Kimo.
All it
Well,
is
it's
just
fucking
lasers.
The
So they can fire
U-2
lasers.
is
It's like
the
a
U-2
light
is
show.
famously a spy plane.
Yeah.
You know, like a light
It's
show
a reconnaissance
outside.
vehicle.
Like laser show
Thomas,
outside.
I tried telling him this as well.
Goodness sakes, guys. It's just like a laser
And
show.
I suppose it's just like water off a duck's back, is it?
Yeah. I just wanted Farmer's Boy to hear about the projection that projects the size of a football.
That really is. And I've just spent the morning catching up watching Gem Show from last night because it was too late and I was knackered. So I've been catching up on that. And this is still quite safely the silliest fucking thing I've heard this morning.
Farmer Kimo hasn't even heard of the famous scientist Jules Verne that wrote a book and done a documentary.
Right, look at that. Look at that shark. Now that shark looks like it's flying around the sky.
No, it doesn't.
I can see right
Doesn't it?
through it.
Sharks aren't transparent, you know. You can't see through them. Well, not real
Yes,
ones.
but if you increase the density of the laser, you can make anything look like anything.
Fire the laser.
How do you increase the density of light?
Just increase the beam and concentrate it more on a particular area than another.
Do you really? This is something else you know.
Very simple stuff.
There is no limit to your ignorance, is there, Kimo?
It's just lights and lasers,
midichlorian
guys. You've been
count
fooled
goes up
by
when you do
lights
that?
and lasers. Okay?
Oh, lights and lasers. Yeah, whatever, mate. Yeah, you are
Next
fucking
Anakin.
deluded.
Alright, so
He's
here's
a
another
special
one.
needs Anakin.
Mercedes-Benz creates an outdoor hologram. Again, you guys are so behind the times.
Says the man who thinks the Earth is flat
You
and
need to
believes in Jesus.
research. Well, this is 2016.
I know who
You
Jules
need to
Verne
be
is.
Up to date.
He doesn't. How can you not know who Jules Verne is? I mean,
You guys really hold up. You guys really expect him to know who Jules Verne is?
Right, this
No.
advert for Mercedes says objects appear out of nowhere. Okay, you
No,
guys
they
have no
don't.
idea what is the latest technology. Okay,
Kimo, can you say
now
fire
they
the
can
laser
make
in an American
holograms
accent?
appear anywhere at any time.
no, they can't.
At any
No,
place.
they can't. No, they can't.
Of course they can. It's in the
They can't
adverts.
make. They can't make holograms appear in low Earth orbit.
Of course, all you need is a piece of glass.
In low Earth
mirrors,
orbit.
lights, reflections, simple stuff. They have
Hey.
loads of solar panels to see through. You can easily manipulate
keep-
your human
keep-
eye. Not very difficult. And you've been fooled by lights and holograms.
Kimo, your LARPing isn't very good.
Well,
You
again,
need to work on it.
think something's in space which is a violation of the second law of dynamics.
Is it? Explain how it's a violation. What second law was that again?
You can't have high pressure next to low pressure.
Is that what the second law says, Chemo?
Is that what? Which second law to begin? Which actual second law? Brackets, speech marks, what have you. Which second law are you on about?
Well, in a nutshell, it just says you cannot have high pressure next to low pressure.
That's not what that says.
Which second law are we talking about here? Can you just to clarify, just define it, please.
Goodness sake, we're having a whole education lesson today, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So none of us know anything. The flat earthers have fooled you.
Chemo, the second law of what?
The second law of what?
Of thermodynamics.
Right.
So can you cite the second law of thermodynamics for us?
Absolutely. The second law of thermodynamics states that a natural thermodynamic process, the sum of entropies of the interacting thermodynamic system, never decreases.
He's Googled it.
Never
Sorry,
decreases.
he's Googled it. He didn't know.
Another form of statement is the heat does not spontaneously pass from a colder body to a warmer body. You understand now? Is it clear?
No, you don't.
The facts, we have the figures.
You Googled it.
And we have the science. Okay, now when we apply the second laws that I've just outlined and detailed for everyone.
But you just Googled it.
I've just outlined
Chemo, where did you read in that definition?
I've just outlined to you what is the second law of thermodynamics.
Chemo.
So it's more questions. In that law? More questions.
Chemo.
Spurs. Hang on, guys. I see Meisty's trying to talk and he's really faint. Sounds like he's in the car or something.
Oh, that's better, Was. The mic is much better.
Can you increase?
Chemo,
can you increase your volume at all, mate?
Better mic, Was. Better mic.
I can hear him fine.
You asked me to break it down.
Because Chemo keeps fucking talking over him.
Can you guys be quiet for a sec? Go ahead, Meisty.
Sorry. Chemo, where did you read in that law that high pressure can't be next to low pressure?
He didn't say that, no.
Oh, thanks. I rest my case.
Yes.
Yeah, but you did to begin with until you Googled it and read out the description.
I said that was.
You did actually say that. You said
that was the layman's term in a nutshell for the
simple-minded. No, don't be a patronising little twat.
Well, for the simple-minded, I broke it down in a. Now, obviously, that detailed explanation is going to be very difficult for the layman to grasp.
There aren't any laymen here. You're talking to us.
Well, there are some who are still catching up with what science is and how to apply it.
Yeah, that's you, because you just Googled it and read it with no comprehension of what it meant whatsoever.
No one read anything. Okay, I understand that the second law.
You Googled it and you read it straight off the fucking screen.
Okay, it's a process that entropy will either increase or remain the same. Now, you didn't know any of that stuff. Okay,
no,
I've had to educate all of you.
Are you just going to carry on
the second law of
patronising?
thermodynamics?
Can you ask me what it is?
I've just told you. I've had to educate you all
on
the laws of thermodynamics. Now, who wants the first law?
Ask me what it is, Keem, and I'll give you an honest answer.
Does anybody want the first law? And also educate you. That's.
Hang on, he's just got to Google it.
No, I told you, I'm a science communicator. So if you need to know
answer,
I can
You're
tell
a fucking
anything,
twat.
anything. Ask me anything. Go on. Any question.
Any question at all?
To do with science. Science.
How'd you calculate?
Chemo, what's the formula for the second law of thermodynamics?
Hold on, let me think about that for a second.
Let him read the Wikipedia page.
What's the formula for what? Sorry, the second law. Did you say the second law? Let me think about that for a second.
Good job.
He's trying to think how to spell formula.
The formula, if I can remember correctly.
If we can scroll down the Wikipedia page, come on.
This is so funny.
Chemo, you are thoroughly entertaining me.
Would you like me to give you the honest answer of what you're supposed to be doing, Chemo?
No, I'm just trying to remember what it was. So
okay.
Chemo doesn't understand on us, that's right.
Yeah.
It's
Good
a complicated
point,
thing. I don't think you would understand.
I can answer it for you just to save a lot of
It's not that far down the Wikipedia page. I don't know why it's taking you so long to find it.
What are you talking about? I'm just trying to remember. I've remembered now anyway.
So can you give it for the closed system actually possible quasi-static irreversible process, please? I'd like you to read that equation out.
Oh, easily.
Hang on. On a different note,
Everybody knows the closed system actually possible irreversible process.
Don't know whether he's banned or not, or can a mod sort it out, or
what I can do.
Generally shady.
I mean, he is generally shady, yeah.
He's in YouTube, and I think he needs roles.
Oh, maybe Kosho can. Chemo's completely distracted with himself at the moment.
Sorry, who is it? Who is it? Where are they? Who are
General
they?
E. Shady.
Shady.
General E. Shady.
Yes.
I think he's in YouTube, and I think he's trying to get in.
Is he in the new arrivals?
I don't know where he is.
He was in the VC
Sorry,
just a minute ago.
Who is it? I didn't catch who that was.
Oh yeah, I see him.
General, there you are.
Nice.
Generally shady. Just give him some rolls.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, General E. Shady.
Shady, yeah. Bread rolls, bacon rolls, egg and bacon.
It's a great name,
rolls.
isn't it?
Yeah, I got it, Spurs. I got it.
Okay. Good man. Good stuff.
It's up there with androids beating electric meat.
But, no, I mean, look, like I said, this is one way to understand the Earth.
No, the equation, please.
Equation.
Yeah, please go to the equation.
Yeah.
Well,
read it out, please.
What, the equation?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to.
It's okay. It's okay. We can all learn from it.
Go on, be brave. Give it a go.
Just read it out.
Look, this is not question. Okay, it's not my claims.
No, we're not doing politics.
Okay.
You just say 30 seconds
Chemo, it's not about you.
Yes.
Chemo, it's not about you. Just read the damn formula.
He did say, ask me anything. And as soon as we asked him for an equation, he's just like,
I said about science, not about mathematics. Okay?
How is the second law of thermodynamics not science?
Mathematics is not science.
Oh, shit.
Okay, this is
Do you know why? Because he can't read it out.
Now I know where I've been going
Of
wrong.
course,
I've been
read it out.
I've been wondering why that's not working to do any science.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, again, these equations are not scientific. So we're not going to do any mathematics.
1 + 1 = 2, and I can prove that experimentally, but that's not science. Okay.
Yeah, it's not science.
Okay, how do you calculate the U value for say a brick wall?
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about formulas and calculations.
But that's science. That's science. The U value tells you how much heat is lost through that material.
That is not
so when you
science.
size a heating system, you know how much heat to put in because you know how much heat is lost. That's science.
That is not science. That is.
No, that is science.
That is calculating. Not
yes,
science.
That's science. I know that you, like Riley, are technically illiterate.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
Calculating?
Getting off track.
Numbers.
We are getting off track.
No, we're not.
Talking about
use your fingers, do you, for
we're
calculating?
Talking about space. Okay. Next to atmosphere, which is impossible.
And when it gets really complicated, he uses somebody else's as well.
Yeah, because we don't need we don't need equations to do practical.
Explain why the second law was violated. Then, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
I've just explained.
How does space violate the second law of thermodynamics?
Yeah.
I'm agog.
Please.
Okay. So you've got this extremely low pressure or low temperature, you can say, next to extreme high pressure, you could say, or temperature.
Where have we got that?
If we try to replicate that.
Sorry to interrupt, Spurs. Sorry to interrupt. General Shady, can we just get a quick mic check?
Yes, hello.
There we go.
Okay, thanks. Okay, carry on, Spurs. He's all working. Where were you?
Wow. General E. Shady, welcome.
Where were you, Spurs?
You won't be welcoming me very shortly, Chemo, let me tell you.
Welcome. Good to meet you. So
sounds like another Aussie to me.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Another Aussie. Just look at the name. Oh, see, I'm definitely going to be talking Aussie by the end of the day.
I'm a take no shit kind of Aussie. And you speak so much shit, you've got brown dribble stains down your chin.
Don't you worry about that.
Whereabouts are you, Shady?
What we're looking for, Shady, is
Gold Coast.
Obviously, we're on a quest. We are hunting for. We are gathering for evidence for the heliocentric model. Now.
Yes, I know. I keep up, but what you fail to understand here is what is the language of science, Chemo?
The language of science is experiment.
Oh
no, dickhead! That's not a language.
Yes,
yes. The language of science happens to be mathematics and equations.
No, the language of science is observation is independent variable.
An observation is not a language.
No, the language used with science for science is observation and experiment and independent variables and manipulation.
And how do you explain an observation? You use mathematics and equations.
No, you would never do that. It's just nonsense.
All right.
All right. So let's try it. Let's test your.
So exactly.
All right. Fine. Let's not argue. Just met. Let's test your claim that you can look at something, use maths, and figure it out. So, how far is the sun? Exactly. Now that was a big one, okay? And that's what we're talking about.
93 million miles away.
And how did you figure that out? Exactly.
Basic trig using basic. Excuse me.
Okay.
You haven't let me answer.
Sorry. Go on.
Basic trig.
Okay. Let's see you do it. Let's see you apply it.
Using the orbit of Venus, parallax, everything. It all works, mate. Your denial.
Just speaking a different language.
Shit.
Different language. Let's stick to the science. You said it's numbers. Let's practically do this now. Get the sun or the moon or anything.
Chemo, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Any star, any object in the sky that you can see right now, and we're going to go through it live right now. You're going to measure the star right now, the moon, whatever you can see, the cloud, plane, helicopter, bird, whatever's in your sky today, tonight. You're going to measure it. Can you do that? Of course you can't. That's my point. So the idea that you can look at something and then do science is ludicrous, General E. Shady.
Well, if you can't look at something and do science, what's a fucking observation, you retard?
So you're looking at something and you're taking a guess. You're performing a hypothesis here, General E. Shady. And that's where an experiment...
Which you then test using mathematics and equations.
Remember, mathematics is just a made-up language. Yes?
Ah, there you go. Now you're getting it. It's a language. It's the language of science.
Oh, it is a language. Yeah, it is a language. But it's a language that is just applied to things that do not exist. So it's like calling a cloud grass or something else. It doesn't apply. You're saying your numbers apply to 93 million miles away, but you can't prove that to be the case when the sun is within the firmament, within the atmosphere. It's very local, very close. We have hotspots, all these kind of things.
Bullshit, dribble.
Well, fair enough then, if that's the case.
You've heard Chemo before then?
If that's the case...
Wipe your chin, Chemo.
Can I see your measurements? Of
course
I can't.
I don't need to show you my measurements, mate.
Can I see your measurements?
It's been shown to you a million times.
I've never met you before.
Denying.
I've never met you before. Never spoke to you before. Where are your measurements?
We have actually spoken before.
Never spoke to General Lee Shady before. You may have spoken to me, but I've never spoken to General Lee Shady. Yeah, you may have been a different name, but I've never spoken to General Lee Shady.
Because you never listen. That's the problem.
Okay, so when we spoke last time, did you provide a measurement, and can you show that measurement again? Of course.
If I go and look it up, yes, I can.
Okay, let's have a look then. Let's see it.
Do you know what radar distancing is? They've actually bounced radar.
So I take it you are I take it you are a science communicator. Communicate to me. Don't ask me questions. Just provide your claim. Let's have a look.
You don't ask him questions because he doesn't do answers.
You're a communicator.
No, he doesn't do answers. Exactly.
I've never heard him actually give an answer.
Look, you're looking for support now. You're going to get support. They will protect you at some point when they realise that you're failing. Yes.
I don't need protection there, sunshine.
You do need protection right now because obviously when you're speaking to someone at the forefront of science and understanding and knowledge and education,
at the forefront of science. Are you talking about yourself there?
Well, what I'm saying is if you know anybody who is at the forefront, can you provide that person who can demonstrate the claims that they make? No, of course you can't. That's what we're talking about. And a person like you just believed what you were told because it was an easy option. Easy just to say, okay, if that's what you're saying. It was easy not to go out there in the real world like I have. I've been out there in the real world, made measurements with the boys, with the lads, with the scientists. Okay?
All right. Then you provide me with your distance to the sun and how you came up with that. And while you're there, because you've said it's inside the firmament, please give us the height of the firmament.
Not about me. Are you conceding the globe now then?
It's not about chemo.
No, it's not about chemo.
Are you conceding saying that I've got nothing? I've come to this forum with nothing but nothing.
We know you keep presenting.
That's obvious.
You keep presenting
totally obvious.
I'm talking about you.
Nothing between your ears. No evidence.
You sure you're not
just
a stand-up comedian, chemo?
Stain down your chin.
It's just your night off.
If he's a stand-up comedian, don't open with this.
Well, what we're looking for is something that you guys can't provide. Is that my fault or is that your fault?
Let's start with something really simple. Okay. Your pressure can't be next to a fucking vacuum. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree there's a pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
Where does the pressure come from?
See,
do you agree? Do you agree there is a pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
Well, yeah, I would if I knew where the pressure came from.
Oh dear.
No,
you don't need to know that, chemo. You don't need to know.
You know when your computer asks you Y or N, that's as simple as it. Push one of the buttons. Is there a pressure gradient in the atmosphere? Yes or no?
How would I know? Exactly.
Well,
how would anyone know?
You're so smart.
Right?
You're so smart. You've done all the calculations and you know that the sun is inside the firmament and it's close and nearby.
Well,
come on.
Pressure at the moment outside.
This is a simple question.
Well, okay, let's answer. So far, no. No one has ever shown that there is pressure outside. No.
All right. So when you go up a mountain in a car, if you drive up a tall mountain, do you have to blow your nose to equalise the pressure in your ears?
No, I'm healthy.
No, he's not.
He doesn't go up mountains. That's what he's saying.
I'm a healthy individual, and if you're a healthy individual, then your ears won't pop.
We don't have a circuit of mountains in this country that you could drive up.
Right, is anyone, you know that this guy,
the only mountain Timo knows is Dunning-Kruger
Mountain.
How
destroy me?
All the thousands of people that drive up the little mountain just
guy
near me
destroy
every
me
day.
if you weren't allowed him to destroy me? Let General Ishii wreck chemo. Let that happen.
No, chemo wrecks chemo.
Two planes pressurized at altitude.
Chemo, is this some kind of fetish?
Yeah.
He's going to wreck chemo, or me, as it were. So
Chemo,
let's do
Two
that.
planes pressurized. Two planes pressurized when they go up in altitude.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, let's go.
Come on. Do planes pressurized when they go up in altitude?
Planes pressurized. No, they depressurize.
No, they don't. If they do, you're in fucking trouble. Oh dear. So the higher they go, the lower the pressure inside the plane. Really?
Well, obviously, when you go to the plane, it's cold, right? Not increasing pressure.
We may have hit world derp.
I think so.
Oh, let's think about this for a moment. Let's use our brains. You're saying that.
No, we can use our brain. You're lacking far behind. You're
saying that the higher you go,
between the ears.
Let's use our brains. You're saying the higher you go, the colder it gets. Yeah?
No. Yeah. Well, yes, it does.
No. Yeah. Yes. No. No. Yes. Make your mind.
Yeah.
Make your mind up. Let's try again. Let's try that again. So the higher you go, the colder it gets.
Yeah.
Less pressure.
To a point.
In your mind, less pressure. Yes.
No, you were talking temperature. Temperature is
whoa. Is it less pressure?
It's not.
Is the pressure less or not? Does the pressure increase as you go up?
No, it decreases.
Right. Does the pressure decrease?
Decreases. Pressure decreases.
Exactly. And what about the temperature?
Well, because the pressure decreases.
Now that you just actually answered my goddamn question that I asked a yes or no answer for
your position.
Now that you've just answered my question about the pressure gradient, you've just said that the pressure goes down.
I'm asking you a question. That was the question. Does the pressure go down as you go up?
Yes, it does.
Does the temperature go down as you go up?
Yes, it does.
So, when you get into an aeroplane, is the temperature higher or colder? With the air conditioning on?
If I put the heater on.
Fuck, has that got to do with anything?
Now your brain is going in overdrive, right? Your brain is ticking away now, you're confused.
Chemo. People usually say exactly when they've made a point. You haven't made a point.
Right, let's try that again. The higher you go, the colder it gets, the less pressure there is.
Yeah, but chemo, you can go in
so if you go into an aeroplane, if you were at the top of a mountain and you went down,
the pressure doesn't go up.
As you climb down the mountain, it gets warmer because there's more pressure.
Have you turned Alan down because we can't hear Alan when you're over talking him?
He's fundy muting everybody. That's what he's doing, but just by fucking talking over everyone. Because this is chemo. This is all about chemo.
Right, let's try again.
Because when you go up
it's not about chemo.
Let's try again then. So, when you go down the mountain, the temperature increases.
You go up in an unpressurized aircraft, you can turn the cabin heater up and it'll keep the cabin warm. What it won't do is it won't do anything about the pressure going down.
Correct.
So let's try this again.
Exactly.
You go up a mountain, it gets colder and less pressure. You go down the mountain, it gets warmer and more pressure. Now, when you're in an aeroplane, you don't feel this incredible heat. Oh, so much pressure. You feel colder, so they've lowered the pressure and lowered the temperature. Very simple.
Turn the cabin heat up. Turn the cabin temperature up because it's got a heater, and the cabin gets nice and warm.
Oh yeah, as long as the heater in the aeroplane. Oh yeah. For all that body heat, you wouldn't need a heater in there.
Two different things, and by you just stating that they are the same thing shows your stupidity and ignorance yet again.
Well, with all those bodies on the aeroplane, that will create enough heat. They wouldn't need to heat the plane up. Duh. That's why they have air conditioning to cool people down. Duh.
Is there a pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
Air conditioning works both ways, chemo. It heats and cools.
And that's why when you walk out of an aeroplane, you feel a surge of heat. Because you're inside a lower pressure. Lower temperature.
And chemo.
You get out in Moscow in the winter, you don't.
No.
Yeah. And have you ever actually been up in a light aircraft that is unpressurized?
No.
No, people have been in aeroplanes at 40,000, 35,000 feet in the air with no oxygen mask.
Here we go. He's going to talk about the people holding undercarriage bays again. Most of whom die.
We've got this locked, farmer's boy. You can't get around this. We've got every base covered.
No.
Yes.
No.
You
got no base covered.
All your base belong to me.
You see? When you try and say you go up a mountain, you can't breathe. Well, what about 35,000 feet, which is higher than 25,000 feet, and you can still breathe? Huh? What happens?
Yeah, that's because they pressurise the aircraft, you
What happens to the ear popping then at 40,000 feet?
He's on about the people who stole away in the undercarriage place. That's chemo keeps coming back to this as his golden proof that people can survive at high altitude.
It's my go-to, yes.
Because some people, a very few people, very luckily do manage to survive stowing away in unpressurized undercarriage bays, but they are most definitely the minority.
Very
most
lucky, aren't they?
Die.
Wow, lucky.
Yeah. And they're usually on relatively short-haul flights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 11 hours is short. Get a grip, sunshine.
You've never been to Australia then?
11 hours is a short flight at 40,000 feet, breathing the fresh air.
So this is all just a performance piece for chemo. He's just LARPing all over the place.
Well, think about it. You're saying crazy things. You're saying you can't breathe at 25,000 feet, but you can breathe at 40,000 feet. Make sense of that.
Chemo is more of a Poe than anything else.
Well, I've got the facts. I've got the figures.
Remember, it's all about him.
Well, it's not about me. It's about the facts and figures, and sometimes we have numbers.
The world according to Chemo.
You're doing this for attention. We're giving you what you want. You should be thanking us because you're doing this for the attention, and we're giving you the attention.
No, you're absolutely wrong because this is about. There is no debate. I've always said this can be discussed.
You're right. There is no debate.
All we need
the Earth
to do
isn't flat.
is explain to the world that we've been lied to about the shape of the Earth. That there are no measurements of curvature.
You're just yelling over the top of us, Chemo.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
How do you jive?
The only thing that you're sorry is you're a sorry piece of shit. And you know that.
Forgive me.
How do you jive your temperature and pressure with the troposphere being warmer than the layers both above and below it?
Look, friend.
Yeah.
From the other side of the pond.
Look at Mage 2. He had a temperature reading on that. It went down to like -40 or whatever it was, C. And then as he got to the top before the balloon popped, it was about 0 again.
Okay.
So it had actually increased in temperature at height.
Okay.
Explain that.
I can't.
No, and you can't explain shit all else, dimwit.
No, we can't explain anything without an experiment, dude. That's how we have knowledge.
It's almost like
that's how we know things. We don't know things by people guessing. Oh, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? No, we don't think. Experiment.
What are your plans? What are your plans for an experiment?
Oh, so obviously, if you want to know why things fall, we can experiment with that using density towers.
The temperature decreasing and then increasing as you raise in altitude.
No, but that's not.
What's your experiment for that?
Well, again, we don't know if that's true. I asked them, is that the case in your model? Does it get colder? And does the pressure...
Don't worry.
It gets hotter while the pressure is going down.
Don't worry about what our model says. You don't know what's happening, so you need to devise an experiment. So I'd like to know what you're doing about that.
Well, we know that you can't have gas pressure without a container. So we know
Which
that
is
there's no... We know there's no...
Yes, but you can have atmospheric pressure without a container. Gas pressure and atmospheric pressure are two different things.
Okay, where does the pressure come from in the atmosphere?
What experiment are you doing, Spurs, to work it all out?
Let Generally Shady destroy me, was. Okay? So, Generally Shady,
it's all about him.
Where does the pressure come from? In atmospheric pressure.
The word that kills you every frickin' time.
Which one?
Gravity, motherfucker.
Okay, good.
Gravity.
Okay, fine. So gravity is the cause of this pressure, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the hypothesis. Do we have an experiment to test your hypothesis?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus walked on water.
Here we go again.
Experiment.
No, he didn't.
Do we have an experiment to test if Jesus did walk on water?
That's a different experiment, Jesus Christ. We're talking
It's not.
about...
I mean, it would be quite simple, wouldn't it? If you get some water, and Jesus was a man, a good man, let him walk on water. It was on ice. Walking on water.
Mage 2 had a pressure sensor on it.
In the Middle East.
Mage 2 had a pressure sensor on it.
Maybe they're lying to you, and Jesus came from the South Pole.
Yeah, that's why.
Maybe he was the man from behind the ice wall that came to teach.
Could be.
Stuff.
It's possible. It's fake.
Mage 2 had a pressure sensor on it.
Okay.
At height, it was virtually 0. I mean, virtually 0.
Okay.
So if we come up with 14.7 psi at the ground and 0 at 30 kilometers, for instance, I don't know the exact numbers, but that'll do. At 30 kilometers, we have 0 psi.
No pressure.
Where's the barriers? Where's the barriers in between to stop all the air from the ground rushing upwards?
You're saying that 30,000 feet. You're saying 30,000 feet.
Hang on, did someone just drop their guts on Mike?
Did he just say at 30,000 feet there's no pressure?
At 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers.
I don't know what. I can't smell, so I wouldn't know.
30 kilometers high, there's no pressure.
At 30 kilometers high, the pressure was virtually zero.
120,000 feet for you, Chemo.
120,000 feet.
I'll blame
virtually
Shady.
Zero.
Virtually zero, not zero.
No, I think
zero.
it was Chemo just burped. Smelt like it.
I didn't burp.
And the temperature went up as he went up also.
Okay, well, it went down and it went up.
Look, we were making
temperature
progress.
Went down
and
then went back up again.
Yeah,
we're making progress.
We were actually laughing at you, but it's progress.
Yeah,
and this was a true experiment. Chemo.
You just said gravity. Let's move forward. Fine, gravity. So gravity causes this pressure. How can we demonstrate?
So now we have a pressure gradient.
Oh my goodness.
So why doesn't all the air at the ground rush upwards?
Said gravity.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stop interrupting. He knows what he said. Stop speaking for other people. Goodness sakes, Just, you're here to derail once again. Okay, let's continue. So you said gravity, yes?
Stop interrupting, Josh. You don't interrupt people when they're talking.
He's changing his words.
Interrupt Chemo when he's spouting, please, because he doesn't like it.
No, he didn't say that. When he clearly did say
now
gravity.
Josh is muted again.
So, Karen, you said yes, gravity. So, how can we test and experiment with gravity?
Well,
that's being done a few times at the moment. Cavendish has already done that.
Excellent.
You keep asking. You keep asking this question. All right, shut up. You keep asking.
Everyone say unmute Druss.
Unmute Druss.
Unmute Druss. Spurs, so you're muting Druss again.
Unmute Druss.
Yes, he has.
Everyone unmute Druss.
Unmute your Druss.
Come on, Spurs. None of that.
Unmute Druss. Just stop changing what people said. You're derailing and distracting from what people said.
On Druss. Stop picking on Druss. I can do that.
Right, the guy said gravity, generally Shady. Druss is like, no, he didn't say that. No, let's talk about something else. Okay, and he clearly said gravity. Okay, now he said Cavendish. Excellent. So.
Plus, what you keep asking for is an experiment we can do at ground level to test gravity.
Gravity, yes. No, we can go with gravity.
That is extremely difficult because we're in a gravity well.
I'm not arguing with that. Let's not argue about. Let's try and test it. You said Cavendish.
But you deny space.
No. It all exists if Cavendish is what you say it is. Now, did they move because of magnetism? You were like, no. I'm like, no. We ruled out magnetism. Was it because of?
You can do Cavendish.
Pulling words out of his ass again.
Was it because of electricity? You're like, no. I'm like, no. Okay.
Happy doesn't want us to do Cavendish out in space.
So
they've got to do it on the ISS. That'd be brilliant.
That'd be
Cavendish
cool.
on the ISS.
So
we can actually. We can. It's really easy with the actual Cavendish apparatus to show that the force is not electrostatic.
No, we ruled it out. We ruled it out. I agree. We ruled it out. We ruled out electricity. We ruled out magnetism. We're good to go. Oh, one more variable.
Can you tell Brian Leakey that then, please? And the other variable you're going to mention, it's already been done in the vacuum chamber, just not on YouTube. Sorry.
One more variable we need to account for.
No, it's been accounted for.
Oh, goodness sake. So, yeah, we need to account for atmosphere.
Yeah, it's been done.
The balls.
It's been done.
So what we need,
been done.
I know it's been done.
Been done.
What we know, generally, Shane. So what we're looking for now, then.
So it's been done, Russ.
Been done. What we're looking for is the observation of mass attracting mass in vacuum. Generally,
been done.
Been done. Can you provide that? Can you provide what's
been
done?
You know it's been done. Your problem is, and it's you and your off-road goalposts, your all-terrain four-wheel drive off-road goalpost, is that it's not in a YouTube video, and therefore you won't accept it.
No. I just want to see what generally...
Yes. That is exactly your opposition. It's been done. Papers have been presented, but you don't accept that as proof.
Look, Farmers wants to destroy me, not you. He won't allow you to destroy me. Farmers wants to annihilate.
We all want to destroy you, Chemo.
No,
although the fact that you talking for 5 minutes does the job itself, but
you can see that generally Shady is struggling. Yes, so you're helping.
No, he's not.
No, not at all.
You're not struggling.
Not at all.
No, he's not.
You're the one that's struggling, Chemo.
Hey, Mippet, g'day. Back to the science. Now look, if
you have to keep changing the goalpost to save yourself.
I'm not. You said Cavendish.
That's your problem.
I'm not. I'm really not. You say Cavendish proves it. I'm saying, okay, fine.
Yeah, no, you don't say anything because you never say anything at all.
G'day, Mippet.
Which is, you just babble on about bullshit.
General, though,
it could be this, might be that.
General, wasn't your point, though? I mean, I put it in text in the chat there. I thought the issue that you had was we see this differentiation in pressure. We use gravity to explain it, and you were trying to find out how chemo is explaining it from a flat Earth perspective. That's what I thought the point was.
That's the point.
And we seem to have deviated and derailed away to talking about, evidence that we have for gravity rather than chemo's position on what causes this gradation in the atmosphere.
He just keeps bringing out that tractor and shifting the goalposts left, right, and centre.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many holes in that football field. It looks like a bloody crater-driven moon.
Okay, Emily Shady, I'm trying to work with. Said Cavendish. I said okay.
I said pressure gradient in the atmosphere.
Is gravity from gravity?
That's where I started.
Yeah, from gravity. Yeah.
Right.
But we have to test to make sure gravity is real. We need Cavendish to make sure that
been done.
It's been done. Can you show that experiment that's been done?
We've shown you the papers.
No, I want to read about it.
Been done a million times.
Yeah, you can't. Obviously, you can't read. Can you?
No, we don't want to read about it.
You've been given the information. You choose not to look at it. Not our fault.
No, well, so we don't have an observation then. Of a paper.
No, we do.
Where's that observation?
You can read the papers that are presented on it.
That means flat Earth is in a very strong position because we don't.
Were you born on a merry-go-round?
I was born underwater.
I think you were born on a merry-go-round because the only thing you do is go round and round in circles.
Wait a minute, you were born underwater? What does that mean?
He's a dolphin.
They dropped him in the bucket and he managed to crawl out.
His
hang on, can we explore that a bit? Hang on, guys. Can we explore that a bit, guys? Spurs, what did you mean? You're born in water.
Well, everyone's born in water. Mother's waters break, and then you're born. Can we get back to the science?
No, you're not born in water.
Yes.
I thought you meant you were one of those water birth babies.
Actually, I'm going to have to stillman Chemo a bit here. I'm going to have to defend you on this, Chemo, because the youngest of my twins was born in the sack, so he was born in water.
Well, it was just
because the sack didn't burst till he came out. We had to rip it open. It was really cool.
Okay, yeah. So can we get back to?
Unfortunately, the doctors and nurses were on a coffee break when he was born. They left him in there for about 20 minutes.
Possibly. There's only one way to find out, I would say. That is to provide Cavendish in a vacuum so we can see the observation to prove that I was
incorrect. It's been done, Chemo. Doesn't matter how many times you ask for it. We've given it to you. Go away.
A piece of paper.
Go away and read it and listen to it and look at it.
Look at what?
And then come back.
It's a piece of paper. Bit of paper.
Yeah, but it's an observation. It's the record of the observation, isn't it?
It's just paper.
It's the record of the observation.
But it's just a piece of paper.
That's how real science is done, Chemo. Sorry, it's not done on YouTube.
No,
it's like if I go to an official meeting and that meeting is minuted, those minutes are the observation of the meeting. It's telling us what was said and discussed in that meeting.
I can't even speak. I'm trying to say it's paper. No one heard that it's just paper.
No, we all heard it, and we're all disagreeing with you that it's just paper. It's not just paper. It's an observation that has been written down.
Do you know when you pick up a piece of paper or you open a book, there's these little black squiggles in it?
He doesn't do books.
They're called words.
Yeah, he doesn't do books.
Yes.
Also, Chemo, by your justification, one of the documents I hold most dear, the American Constitution, that's just paper.
No, right. Well, it's obviously fake because it's not on YouTube.
What do you mean?
Oh, right.
Fake documents.
Fake documents. It's not on YouTube. Nobody. Chemo can't watch it being written.
Kool-Aid. So you have paper backed up with something, yes? Exactly. Now we have paper with these guys.
Hold on a second. What's backing up? What's backing up the Constitution of the United States, Chemo, apart from the documents that is written on? What else gives it force of law?
The people.
Exactly.
Chemo, what science do you have for your second law? What's your independent and dependent variables? What's the experiment?
Ooh, now he's getting serious.
Well, what is the observed phenomenon?
Because if you don't have it, then you can't apply the law.
Yeah,
because you said it's scientific.
Yeah. You have an observed phenomenon?
What's your observed phenomenon for the second law of thermodynamics?
So a simple one is if you hot water. That hot water.
Okay, in nature, where do you have that in nature?
Oh yeah, so like in the hot springs, where that water.
Okay, so you have seen those, yeah? Okay.
Springs out of the spring, and then it just cools down. It doesn't get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter.
Okay. And your cause was what?
That's the opposite of a hot spring, Chemo.
No, I said as it blurts out, once it's left and into the
air.
Yeah,
it starts cooling. Yeah. So what's your cause for that? What's your cause?
The cause, thermodynamics. The dynamics of thermo here. Yes, the thermodynamics.
What?
Here.
Okay, how did you manipulate thermodynamics, and what's the definition for those?
How do you manipulate the thermodynamics?
It's so hard not to crack up laughing.
You need to fiddle it.
Them separately. Thermo, heat, dynamic, systemic.
Well, we're trying to predict the cause, aren't we, to this effect, right?
So thermodynamics is the description. What's the cause of it, Chemo?
Yeah, we would just lower the temperature. That would cause it.
So temperature is
So
the
you
cause.
have no idea what the second law of entropy is.
I've just told you, man. Not listening.
Yeah, and you got it completely wrong. So you haven't really.
Refresh.
So Chemo, you said that there's a hot spring and the water gets cold, and your cause for that water getting cold is somehow thermodynamics.
Temperature.
Which means,
I just told that's right.
Temperature.
So the
Temperature is a scalar.
The dynamics
Temperature
of the
is a
temperature
scalar.
changes. Duh. That's right.
I don't think Chemo knows what
He's actually just spoken in his own language.
So that's what I'm saying here. There's a change in temperature, Chaiki.
Chemo, what? Chaiki.
Oh,
so
moment,
Chemo, what did you manipulate to get it to cool? You said the temperature. Temperature of what?
Temperature of the medium. The medium.
Okay, so the medium is the cause for the law, the second law of thermodynamics.
Could incorporate that, yes, because
incorporate that. We're looking for an independent variable.
Was the cause a second ago?
Yeah, not medium.
So if you change the temperature of that medium, yes, you will get a different effect.
Okay.
He can't find his script, the right place in his script. He's lost at the moment, poor bugger.
Very easy, very simple.
So Chemo, in the winter, if I have a spring and there's water coming out that's cold and the medium is hotter, the water gets hotter, right?
The water will change the temperature slightly, but depending on how much temperature there is. Absolutely, yes.
So the temperature can go up and down in your experiment. So it's not always going one way.
That's manipulating your independent variable up and down and removing it. Absolutely. You got it.
So
okay, so for the second,
If he's manipulating temperature must be the cause.
Temperature is the cause, yes. Absolutely. Got it.
Isn't temperature, as someone correctly pointed out, a scalar, therefore it's a numerical value? How does a numerical value be the cause?
Well, of course, when the molecules are more excited, obviously, that creates more
So you're talking about heat there, right?
That will give us the heat, obviously.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So Chemo, at the end of the day, your cause for heat transfer is heat.
Right, anyway, we've been going for 2 hours.
Oh, okay, so you're going to run away now, are we, Chemo?
No, we're going to make room.
You won't answer
We're going to make room.
I'm still confused on what is the cause of this heat you're talking about.
definitely get back to
No,
it.
I think we should finish it because it doesn't sound like you've got a very good definition of it. Maybe you can learn from this.
We've been going for 2 hours.
Chemo needs to eat some more. He's run out of shit to spew.
No. We want to share the experience. Okay. And
all of us are interested in this temperature discussion that we're having, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, obviously we can change gears. In fact, you can even socialise now until I return. If there are no flat earthers, obviously. We're just going to have a small break, and obviously we can get back to...
you're going to run away because we're having a conversation that you have no idea about.
I'm going to make a constructive comment here that he's going to go away and he's going to research the causes of what causes things to be hot. That's what I'm hoping.
He's also climbing back on the tractor to go and find some new holes to dig for his goalpost.
So what we're looking for now
Should
is
also
alternative
look what scientific laws are.
To continue quest of exposing the centric lie, and obviously we'll return shortly.
Who are you talking to now, Chemo?
I'm just talking to you guys.
Who are you talking to now? No one's listening to you. So who are you talking to?
Talking to you,
Oh, she's still talking.
Yeah.
He said he was going, so everyone's just muted you.
Hey, Chemo, fuck off. If you're going to go, go.
So, Mippet, this is wrapping up now for, we've been going for 2 hours. We'll be back though shortly.
Okay, everyone can mute it on his own YouTube channel. He's speaking to his YouTube bloody audience.
I think we can wrap it up. We can wrap it up very simply like this, which is Chemo has demonstrated that he has no idea what the causes of heat is, and he's no idea about thermodynamics, and he's demonstrated that clearly and conclusively for everybody who's listening.
Yeah, and he's never gone up a mountain. He's never gone up a mountain.
When I return, maybe we can get into rotation, we can get into curvature.
You need to get out more, Chemo.
No, I don't want to go into anything.
Chemo, you just conceded this point. You just conceded this point then.
No.
Spurs, take a break, mate. Go dangle your tea bag and come back.
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely be back.
I'd actually like to get onto Wolfie. I'd actually like to get onto Wolfie and get Chemo a free flight to Australia. He can sit in the undercarriage and see how he goes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I'm sure Wolfie would be into that.
That'd be a treat.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I say, any flat earthers want to step up and ruin and wreck and destroy the globe or the model or the idea of it, step right up. Don't be afraid of
it. No one will, because there is no such thing.
Chemo's completely failed at doing that, so it needs somebody else to have it.
Take care.